Hi guys, welcome back to another Matchbox Garage video. I'm Rob, and today I shall be attempting to take this Cosmobile from shabby to shiny. This one is a one-wheeler. 3 wheels are missing, who knows how, where, when. And it's also been overpainted, I think first in silver and then in yellow. So yeah, this one is going to take quite the restoration. I had an idea when I first started this, and then it kind of evolved into something else, and then eventually evolved into the final product, which I'm really happy with. I have quite a few hours into this one, more than I guess I expected when I first started this car. I thought this would be, relatively straightforward, simple, but yeah, certainly put a few more hours than expected. So I hope you do like it, and of course with 2,000 likes it could be yours. So yeah, with just the one wheel there, doing a bit of a donut. Yeah, not much of a roller, this one, of course. It's got some, to be honest, I don't know what they are on the top there. Are they kind of missile launchers or maybe radar? But yeah, looking at the windscreen here, unfortunately we do have a crack. And it wasn't until actually that point that I'd noticed that, so I knew straight away I needed to seek out a replacement. I do have a couple of these, thankfully. And as you can see, we've got 4 rivets on the bottom there. It's actually only the very front, the very first front rivet that you would need to remove in order to actually remove the base. The other 3 just simply hold on the, I don't know, what would you call that, like a wheel retaining strap. But yeah, I didn't drill down any of these because I just didn't know what I was drilling into, having never taken one of these apart before. And again, where this had been kind of overpainted, a little bit difficult to actually take it apart. But as you can see, those rivets are all in place other than that front one. And there's a couple of tabs in the rear which are holding the base. Yeah, it looks like it's got some kind of thruster on the rear. The interior piece, which is chrome. And then only now can I see that this had a purple window section originally. But yeah, unfortunately, as you can see there was a break in that, so we need to find a replacement today. The top piece there simply pops off. I actually done some kind of Google research, and I was wondering whether this was based off of something, whether it's from a movie but I didn't find any information. You search Cosmobile in Google, you're just coming up with these toy cars. But yeah, let's pop these castings into the foot-long hot dog jar, and we'll cover it in boiling water, and then in comes a tablespoon of caustic soda. You can see straight away, kind of floating on the top of the caustic solution there, where we get these cars that are overpainted. Usually the overpaint comes off within seconds, and does usually turn the water a little bit cloudy. Unfortunately my camera just wasn't really focusing there. but I think you can see quite a lot of reaction going on in the water there. But whilst he's doing its thing, we'll start cleaning up some of these plastics. Unsure what's on the bottom of this actually. I'm hoping it's not poop. Only poop, but it appears to have a pube stuck in it. Pretty grimy. And there we are eventually. Whilst the solution had cooled down just before, I guess, putting it into down the sink, I put those bits in the top there just to take off all the chrome so I can repaint them. But it appears we don't have 100% paint removal today, but a good 99.2%. And then cleaning up as we go. I'll reach for my Dremel Micro, and actually it's the very first time today that I run the battery out on it. I haven't used the Dremel attachment here for quite a while, so I thought, maybe this one's got quite a few little nooks and crannies. We'll use that to get in deep. And I'll give you just a little sample of the roof section here. I mean, of course this is hidden anyway, so it's not like you would have ever seen this part, but I guess it seemed like the first place to start. And eventually it come up looking pretty good, I think you'll agree. It was at this point, I was thinking what colours to paint it, etc. And then I thought, you know what, this it's quite a rough casting. And there was quite a few lines on it, and I'm hoping that you can see from this side, yeah, quite rough. And then I've started to rub down the other side, and I think you'll agree that that looks 100 times better. And it was kind of at this point I thought, I'd mentioned about polishing up a car before. Maybe I'll give this one a go. So I was just buffing it out. This is just with a 1200 grit sandpaper. And I'd probably been on this for about half an hour. And my hands had started to cramp up. And then I was going to start on the main casting here. Ultimately, I think this is not the right casting to polish, just because of all the angles and the kind of, I guess, all the nooks and crannies really, where you just can't get in. But I tried my best, and I was actually at this for a total of about 2 hours, sanding and polishing. And I've not used one of these attachments before. It's kind of like a very dense wool, I guess, is my best explanation. And I've got this polishing compound. And I just started going over the casting. And after I'd gone over it for a little while, just that tiny little section, we give it a little rub just to see what we are left with. And yeah, it comes out pretty shiny, right? So I've done it all over, and I started to use some different attachments as well. And you can see what kind of a mess I was getting in. Like I say, this was probably sanding and polishing a total of around 2 hours. And I didn't really know the kind of, I guess, result of what I was doing. Knowing, of course, that it was polishing, but not knowing how well it was polishing until I guess I take a microfiber cloth and have a look, see what's underneath. And yeah, I was quite happy. Not 100% happy, but quite happy. And eventually I got all that muck off and I polished it again. And I think you'll agree that's quite shiny. But the problem is, I still, for a polished casting, I still believe this is not the right one. This is the replacement glass, and I'll just need to buff that up a little bit. So with the polished casting, I thought instead of just leaving it as it was, sparkly like a little jewel, there was a few guys, I think I'd done the Lamborghini recently, which I painted in a black primer, followed by like a chrome silver, and then the candy over the top of that. And I had many comments that said, why don't you use the candy over just a bare polished casting? And because I wasn't 100% happy on leaving this just as a bare polished casting, I thought this was probably the prime opportunity now to put the candy over this one. It almost came out like I guess like a Spectra flame. But this is the first of many, many coats. And it is now the following day. I managed to find another set of original style wheels, which I re-chromed. And I repainted the top part there in silver. I say we polished up this replacement window section. I painted the interior all in black. And then you got the base here in this green candy. I didn't add any further details. I guess in my head I thought, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this as if it was like a, if Hot Wheels had kind of taken it on, back in the 60s, in a Spectra flame. Nice, kind of basic and simple, almost like it's left the factory. The only difference is the finish of the metal and the colour. I didn't go over the top with it. I probably got more hours into this one than most of my other models, just because of the sanding and polishing. And I'll be honest, I've never liked this casting before, but I think when you put so many hours into something, you grow to like it. The turntable there, I painted in black, and there was not a sign of dust or fluff on it until I look at it now. So that's annoying, but we'll have to move on. I'm going to paint it another colour, and hopefully that turns out better in the next video. But anyway, I hope you liked it. Massive thanks to my patrons again. Cheers, guys. And remember, with 2,000 likes, this one, it could be yours. Hope to see you soon, guys.